Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Once again, I've been stalking those pro Fortnite players and trying to see the behaviours they use to get the upper edge in battle, the setups they utilise to farm efficiently, and the tricks they practice to become Fortnite gods. Here's 100 pro tips currently used by those people lucky enough to be paid to play video games. But first things first, I need you to smash the like button, subscribe with 12 alt accounts, and follow my best mate Dave on Twitter, and my grandma on Instagram. I'm only kidding there, you be you. If you like something, fantastic. If you don't, it's fine too. 100 pro tips, let's go! Let's start with the shopping cart, or the trolley, depending on where you are in the world. When running from the storm, take one with you. You can jump in the back and heal on the move. It's extremely useful. In duos, it's even better, as one person can heal while the other one pushes. As we all know, teamwork makes the dream work. The shopping cart can be forced to go faster with certain weapons. The minigun works like a dream, but the LMG and the rocket launcher have similar effects. When running from the storm, or rotating over to another area of interest, if you can spare the bullets, jump in a shopping cart and blast your way to your destination. Shopping carts can also negate fall damage, not always though, it depends on your landing skills, but if you don't have the materials to descend from a mountaintop or a high hill, jump in and ride it out. It's risky, so only you can decide if it's worth the hassle, but if you learn to land on all four wheels, it's the quickest and most effective way to get down. If you have the skills, you can use a shopping cart to negate a little fall damage. So if you're 4, 5 or 6 tiles high, try and jump into the back of a shopping cart. It won't stop all the hurt, but it will stop you from dying. Now onto uses for the pyramid tile you most likely never use. A great way to get inside windows, such as at tilted towers or at the football stadium, is to use this little blighter and then crouch to go through. Without it, it can be a bit of a struggle to get inside. If you don't like the pyramid tile, why not switch it into a down ramp for ease of descending after build battles? In fact, another great use for the down ramp is by adding a jump pad to get additional distances. It works so damn well to get away from the storm, and even better to completely surprise other players. If you find yourself with downed comrades but you need to escape, use that pyramid ramp and jump pad technique. This will allow your buddy to crawl to safety too, and come on, it looks bloody amazing too. Going back to the original pyramid setting, it's actually possible to use it in battle. If an enemy builds above you, you can cap their movement with a pyramid. If you're skilled enough, you can turn this into a trap. It takes practice, but if you're quick enough, you can do this. This is quite an oldie, but remember, you can throw a pyramid over a fallen ally and then keep fighting. To build on that, I tend to throw down multiple to put the opposition off completely, so anyone wanting to thirst your friend will need to be very attentive. It's like a magic trick. Which one is he under? If you're in a sky base or a building on a platform above the enemy, think about using both a floor tile and a pyramid for additional support. The opposition will try to shoot you down, but the added pyramid gives double support, allowing you to get a shot off, jump pad away, or run back and restore the broken pieces. When you find yourself boxed up against a spammer above you, use the pyramid in unison with a floor tile. We all know that the occasional bullet gets through, so doubling up will really help. And when they go to reload, edit out and fight or reclaim the high ground. The pyramid can also be your best friend when crossing Loot Lake. Making a bridge of pyramids makes you a harder target to hit and offers cover if needed. If you need to save materials when crossing Loot Lake, try using the jump ramp technique. Here's what you're going to do. Whilst running, build 2 ramps and jump from the top, then jump twice more before starting the sequence again. If done correctly, you won't lose any speed in the water, and you'll also be a very difficult target to hit. Here's running versus the jump technique. They are identical in time. Have you ever needed to cross Loot Lake diagonally? Well, you'll know it can be a huge drain on your resources. Well, if you have the time to edit the pyramid structure, you can change it into this monstrosity and tightrope across Loot Lake. Oh, and remember the shopping cart minigun technique from earlier? It only bloody well works across water too. Let's quickly talk about skins. We know there's no advantage to battle pass or purchase skins, but there is. The guitar I wear makes me super easy to spot in sniper battles. The Cuddle Team leader Zach uses has an oversized head and is bright pink too. Again, much easier to see and be spotted. We also tested playing stealthily with the pink bunnies, and it was bloody impossible. And that, by the way, is where the hype bunnies were born. Yeah! So a tip is to use a skin which reflects your playstyle. You can even go full default and surprise your enemies with your skill. Let's move on to farming. By now, we all tend to leave 50 HP on trees. In the later game, I don't know about you, but I tend to knock down a huge hulking tree with one swing because someone's already been here before me. Well, did you know that when holding a weapon, you can see the health of the tree from a much farther distance away than an axe? After realizing that, I didn't make that mistake again. How long does it take to open a bloody llama? Takes frickin' yonks, doesn't it? Well, be aware that you can destroy the llama any way you like to get the loot. Use your pickaxe or any weapon to open the goodies sooner. In a group scenario, it's like a llama slaughter. Do you remember the old axe cancelling technique for speed harvesting? We'd try to quickly reset our character's position so they could swing their axe quicker. Well, it's back again. It's much easier on PC, but it is possible on console too. To achieve this, we're going to use the wave emote. It does work with other emotes, but the wave is far superior. While swinging your axe, quickly emote the wave and continue swinging again. This will give you an extra swing every 2 swipes. It's too much effort for me to learn, so here's Zach GG using it. Let's move on to building, and a general statement first. Use your traps more often. I bet you've finished the game multiple times and find you have 7 or more traps in your possession. I find that popping a trap when ramping can act as a great trip mine or indicator that someone is behind you. Regardless of the distance, an audio cue can be heard if the trap hits someone, allowing you to get the drop on them. You'll actually find that now traps have received a buff, you'll get more kills than you'd expect. In battle, something as simple as placing a trap in your base will deter others from pushing while they reanalyze their options. That extra split second could give you the upper hand. At some point in the game, you'll lose the high ground and be boxed in. Try to practice these 2 wall edits. You may be thinking to yourself, just use a door, but doors take a split second to open and also give away your position by the sound they make. By using these specific edits, you can re-engage much quicker than using a door. When you do break out, practice this ramp building technique to reclaim the high ground. Break out, ramp above and below, do a 180 and ramp back over your foe. Due to the inclusion of spam weapons like the minigun and the light machine gun, a new wall push technique was created. Instead of simply ramping to an opponent or adding a wall, the new technique adds floors for extra resilience to hundreds of bullets. To give you the ultimate rushing protection, build ramps followed by walls, followed by floors. You get the idea. To gain the high ground in the fastest way possible, whip out your bounce pads and use this technique. Jump pad from the ground, but remember to build walls on your way up. As your velocity slows down, build another floor and then start the action again. Bouncer, spam walls, floor. You'll be on top in no time, but be warned, your structure is extremely weak, so don't stay there too long. Should you need the high ground as fast as possible but you don't have jump pads, try this, it's ultra simple. Ramp, floor, rinse, repeat. It's best to attach this to your enemy's structure for support, but due to the speed of this, you can have the high ground in no time at all. And to go one more step further than this, you can use that pyramid and switch it to a ramp again and link them together to save mats and climb criminally fast. You know that moment your structure is destroyed and you inevitably fall to your death. Keep in mind that the jump pads negate all fall damage. If your structure is being knocked down, you have a little bit more time before it reaches you, so take out your bouncer and escape from certain death. If you're lucky enough to win a fight in the sky, there's a method you can use to get to the ground ASAP. Fall backwards from the edge of your structure while spamming walls. Every 3 floors or so create either a ramp or a floor and then rinse and repeat. In no time, you're back on the ground unscathed. If you require more ways to get down, try throwing down a porta fort and aiming for those tires. If you really want to show off, jump on that shopping cart, but again, I can't do it. And if your skill level is high enough, use a pulse nade to prevent your death. You'll need to throw it just as your character gets to the top of their jump. Let's move on to fights. If you have to peek an enemy, do so on your right hand side. All characters are right-handed in Fortnite, so the viewing angle on the right is far superior when planning a shot. As players are becoming more savvy, it's important to try and keep a level playing field. I'm sure you've noticed the head glitchers who find the perfect angle to sit and seemingly shoot through their bloody bases. Epic are trying to rectify this, but it's still possible to do in this day and age. If you want to know a method, I'll show you one at the end of the video. At this point, I'll just say stay vigilant. When this is eradicated though, the best practice will be lining up a shot whilst crouch and then standing up to shoot and immediately crouching again. This makes you near impossible to hit. Do you use auto run at all? I personally hate it, but I do use it in squads and duos. It ultimately allows you to sort your inventory whilst moving with the team. If someone needs heals or bullets, drop them on the go. Oh, here's a good one. It's actually possible to reload shotguns whilst running. Simply jump, reload, switch weapons. Once you land again, just repeat the process. You'll reload 1 shell each jump and keep running at full speed. I want to talk about cheap and easy kills, but before we get to that, let's just do a few general things. Impulse nades are great for knocking enemies from heights, but they are also even better at allowing you to catch up with your teammates without asking them to stop. Similarly, they're great for escaping the storm. I'm sure 99% of people know this, but I still have to tell people when I do random squads. Campfires stack. Stand in the middle of them to heal ridiculously quickly. If you have the battle pass, use the limited time mode to do your challenges. If you hate pistols but they are required to complete part of your battle pass, jump into the limited time mode without hurting your stats or forcing you to play a way you don't feel comfortable with. But you never know, that gun you once ignored may be your favourite after all. Another battle pass suggestion: if you need to eliminate enemies with a certain weapon, use a duo or squad match, and once you've knocked an enemy, finish them with the weapon you require. This way it won't force a complete change from your usual tactics. First shot accuracy is a very big thing in Fortnite at the moment, but which gun attains it the quickest? Just in case you don't know, standing still for a moment will change the reticle on screen. Once it does this, it means the next bullet will be 100% in that spot. The bloom won't take over. During our checks, the best gun for immediate accuracy is the SMG, shortly followed by the revolver. The one which took the most time in our setup was the burst rifle. And of course, some guns don't have it at all, like the dual pistols. Here's a silly one, but if you're feeling cocky, it's pretty good. Use a jump pad and launch pad together to create a speed parachute. Remember to make a tunnel to channel the energy though. This way you'll have an instant speed boost when parachuting. Nice. Finally, let's look at dirty, stinking, cheating ways to get kills. Don't worry, they're all legit methods. My personal favourite is something I use when I have to go to the toilet mid-game. I'm getting old, alright, my bladder isn't what it used to be. Create a base full of traps, then add a roof, but block the roof with your head, so it looks fully constructed, but actually it's non-existent. Now wait for someone to walk over it, and they'll fall straight to their death. If that's not a dirty enough tactic for you, you can hide traps outside the tunnels in Dusty Divot. Your enemy won't see it coming. This area may be changing soon, so keep an eye out for other areas to use this. For example, the trucks around the island. Here's the easiest way to head glitch. Edit the pyramid into this monstrosity, it's the one we used earlier to cross Loot Lake. Now slowly crawl up the ramp until you can shoot through it. This will protect your dome and make you a dirty, stinking cheater. A dirty, dirty, stinking cheater. Enjoy. This one will be taken out soon, but it's possible to add a trap on top of a roof tile and somehow it appears underneath. Spam the build and place buttons to achieve this dirty move. Finally, a note to console players. We all know that using a mouse and keyboard on console is the dirtiest cheating method you can legitimately do on console. But did you know there is another cheat method which isn't seen as such a dirty move? A pro controller. I'm currently using a Scuff Impact and oh my goodness, it's like legit cheating. I'll make a video explaining it next week, but basically the extra paddles give a huge advantage and your thumbs don't move off the sticks. Right, I'm getting sidetracked and this video is getting ridiculously long, so I'm going to split the 100 tips across 2 videos so I can keep them quite short. And I'm completely sure you're already becoming bored to tears from my voice. So expect another 50 pro tips coming very, very soon. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, and just so I can be a clickbaiter like everybody else, I'm giving away free V-Bucks. All you have to do is follow my uncle on Grindr and remember to follow my granny on Instagram. She loves a good V-Bucks giveaway. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you next time.